Hi everybody, and welcome to my kitchen. My name is Terry, and today we're going to do Valentine's sugar cookies. It's time to get doing that. It's February the 6th. It's not Valentine's for a week, but I like to get them made ahead so I can have a couple of days for the icing to get a little crisper on them after I decorate them, so I can package them up for all the grandkids. We have 13, so I'm not just making one batch of sugar cookies. I'm actually making 4 times the batch, which hopefully I'll get about 6 dozen. And anyways, today I'm just going to get the dough made up for the cookies and then wrap it up and put it in the fridge because it has to chill for overnight. Is better. It's going to be overnight now. And then maybe I'll also get the icing made up, so I'll have that ready. And I'll get busy and do that. I'm just creaming together 2 cups of softened margarine and 2 cups of white sugar. So I'm going to cream that up, and then I'm going to add to that some 4 egg yolks and the vanilla. I hope it calls for vanilla. Yes, it does. Okay. So, and some milk and the dry ingredients, which I have already sifted together. 6 cups of flour, 6 teaspoons of the baking powder, and a teaspoon of salt. Okay, so I'll get busy with this and I'll separate the eggs and slightly beat the yolks, and we'll be back. I just wanted to mention while I'm doing these eggs, you know, normally when I do too many times the batches, say it calls for 4 eggs, I would have put in 5 because they're usually a medium to a large eggs. But I actually got these eggs again from my daughter-in-law, Shauna, and the difference, this 1 egg is huge, as you can see, and I'm sure it's a double, so I'm only just going to put in the 4 eggs today. Okay, so I'm back, and as I suspected, that 1 egg was actually huge, and it was a double yolk, so I do, in fact, have 5 yolks in here. Slightly beaten, and I've also gone ahead and added the 2 teaspoons of the vanilla. And now what I'm going to do is alternate the dry ingredients, which I'll just grab over here. As usual, I sift everything, and I will alternate these dry ingredients with, it calls for 12 tablespoons of milk. 4 times the recipe, but in actual fact, 12 tablespoons is equivalent to about 3/4 of a cup. So it makes it easier. I'm just going to go with 3/4 of a cup of the milk, okay? Okay, as I was saying, I'm just alternating the milk and the dry ingredients, which again was 6 cups of flour, 6 teaspoons of baking powder, and a teaspoon of salt, sifted and mixed together. And while I finish that up, I'll spare you guys the beater noise, okay? Okay, I'm back. That's all mixed up, and it looks very nummy. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to wrap it tightly in saran and put it in the fridge to chill overnight. So, and then I will get cleaned up and I will be back and show you that before I put it away, I guess is what I will do, okay? So I think because I have such a huge amount here, what I'm gonna do actually is do it in 2 batches in the fridge. Usually I put it in a bowl, but kind of running short of room in my fridge right at the moment, so I will actually just wrap this like this, and I will do it twice, and then I can store it that way, okay? All right, that'll be good and chilled for tomorrow. All righty. Okay, there we go. 2 big balls full of dough going into the fridge to be chilled. Okay. Hi, so I'm just gonna get busy and make up this icing to be used tomorrow or the next day even. There's a lot of different classic buttercream icing. I have a couple of different recipes to go by, ones I had for umpteen years when I took cake decorating. about 40 years ago. But there's one here that's actually back on. That's just classic buttercream, half a cup of soft butter. You know, if you use Crisco and then it would just make it that it's really white. And I'm going to add a little bit of coloring to this anyway, so it doesn't matter if the icing isn't pure white. Half a cup of softened butter. I've used margarine, and I'm making 3 times the batch. So I've used 1.5 cups of softened margarine. I'm going to add 6 cups of icing sugar because it calls for 2. So 3 times that is 6. And then beat in 2 teaspoons of vanilla. I'll put in 6 teaspoons, but I'm not going to use vanilla. I really like to have almond flavoring actually in my icing. I prefer. And then just a bit of milk to make it to the consistency that you'd like. It says to use 1 to 2 tablespoons, so that would be 3 to 6. So I'm just going to get busy and mix that up, and we'll be back. Thanks. Okay, and I'm back with this icing all mixed up. Now, you know, so many different ingredients of amounts, and I was kind of worried that this one called for 2 teaspoons of the almond extract I put in, but and so I put in 6, which is a lot more than what I usually put for this kind of amount. But you know what? Tastes good actually. So, and I didn't have the Crisco, but as you can see, it's white enough in my bowl. It'll have a little bit of pink coloring for the Valentine's cookies. And now I'm just gonna put it all in a bowl and put it in the fridge. Left it just a little bit thicker than I might have. I can ice the cookies with it at this consistency. And then tomorrow, when I'm actually icing them, decorating them, I'll probably thin it down a little bit so it flows easier. But anyways, I'll leave it for tomorrow and put everything away, and see you then. Bye-bye. Well, good morning, everyone. We're back, and the dough is chilled in the fridge overnight, so it's really time to get busy and start rolling these out. Flour for spreading and on the counter here. My handy rolling pin I've had for 50 years and still holding up just perfectly fine. I've got a few different cookie cutting shapes of hearts. This is the one I've normally used always. I don't know if you can see that very well. I found a little one too. See, maybe some of the little kids would like a few of those extra. Found this one too, but I don't think it works very well, and I probably haven't used it in past years because when I go to decorate it and when I pack it in all their bags for Valentine's, you know, this doesn't hold up very well, having these extra little arrows sticking out the side here, but I might make a few of those for the fun of it. Anyways, I'm gonna get the dough out and we're gonna get started. I've got them packaged up in the 2 mounds. I'm gonna cut them each in half as I use them. I don't like to roll them out too many times, and you'll see when I go to cut them that I put them really close together. I know some people just kind of space them around, but you know what? That's just more times that you're rolling out that dough. And it really is better if you can minimize that. And so I'm gonna get started. I'll grab the dough out and we'll get going. Okay, just a quick shot here to show you. I'm just cutting one of these in half. Put it out here on this floured board. That's why I had such a big island built, so I could do lots of baking on it. Okay, put that back. Okay, we're just getting started here with this. I'll show you rolling out one at least. Put some other flour on there as well. And this isn't quite as stay together as pastry is that when I made the quiche a few weeks ago and showed you, but we'll just flip it probably just the once. That's about all it can really handle. And then it says to roll it out to about 1/4 inch thick. And I will do that. I can't honestly remember how much they puff up, but we don't want them to be too thin. So we'll get the first one of these cut. I'm only going to do use one of my ovens for doing this. Usually I have so many cookie sheets like the chocolate chip cookies, and I use both ovens, and it's way faster because I made like 9 or 10 dozen. But you know, these are more fragile and I need to go a bit slower so that I make sure that when I take them out of the oven, I'm more careful. So I'm just going to use one of the ovens, and then the other one will be cooled and it won't be having not been used. And I can just use it for putting the stacks of cookies in there to cool. So, okay, I'm going to just start these right around the edge. Okay, I'm going to go around, and I guess any little spots that end up at the end that are not enough room left for this cookie cutter, I'll use the little one. So I'll carry on with that and I'll be back. Okay, I've got one tray loaded up here with a dozen. I like to stick with a dozen. And I'm going to go ahead, and as you can see, I don't have very many left that were cut out, and just a little bit of the scraps, which I won't use again right now. I'll pile up all the leftover scraps and use them as one batch later, so I'm not re-rolling the same dough a whole bunch of times. And I will go ahead and do some more and fill some more cookie sheets, and as soon as that oven goes off, I will load the first batch in. There. Okay, now the second batch is just about ready to come out of the oven, but I just wanted to show you what these look like in the bottom. They're just lightly browned, okay? So, you know, they're not overcooked. If you can see that. It's just a nice light brown, so that's just perfect. And the tops then are just barely brown, so that works great. Okay. Okay, now that we've gotten all the first round of the cookies cut out of the dough, now I'm going to unpackage all these ones that I had left over from the others, and work on doing those, because that means they've only been rolled out once actually, so there's not a lot of flour in them. They should be just about the same kind of consistency and ease of rolling out that the other ones were. So we're going to do that. I was going to show you this one over here that I'd only cut out one of these ones that's like this. And they, you know, those are going to break off as soon as I try packaging them. I don't know. Maybe I'll do a couple more at the end in case kids are here and they're not don't actually get them in a bag or something with their goodies. So anyways, and how many have we got now? We must be up to about 4 dozen. So we're not doing too badly. And I'll just finish up this and we'll do a count at the end. Okay, they're all out of the oven now. And at the end of the day, we ended up with actually more than 6 dozen. I ended up with 5 dozen, just over 5 dozen of the 64 actually, of the large hearts, 4 of these ones with the arrow through them, and actually 2 dozen of the little ones. So if you add it all together, it ended up to be more than 6 dozen. I have those there, and of course then in my oven I have a couple more trays full. There's 40 in the oven there. So they'll all be cooled in a while, and I've brought up my cake decorating toolbox, so we'll get busy with that in just a few minutes. Okay, I'm just going to get ready here. Hopefully this icing has softened up a little bit that I made yesterday. I took it out of the fridge a while ago. Got some cookies to work on. Not too sure exactly what I'm going to do with them yet. I think I'll just put a couple of dollops of pink into this icing right here. There's a pink. Sure. So I use a toothpick and I just dip it in there and then dip it into the icing, and we'll see how that comes out and do a few of them in a pale pink, okay? Wow. Hardly takes a little tiny speck at the end of that toothpick to make it that dark a pink. So I think I'll do some in white, some in pink probably for the bases. I think I'm going to do some of the writing for the boys in blue because, you know, so I don't think it's totally pink. But anyway, I have some pinks and things, so we'll get moving on that. So just to show you guys how I'm decorating these with gobs of pink. So I smear it all over these cookies. I don't worry about how thick it's going to be for these ones, because what I'm going to do next is Just like that. Take this scraper. I've done some different ones here, just for a bit of design, and then scrape across like this. And then I take my knife and I just, whoops, just run it around the edge here to make it a nice cut around there. That's where it's usually the thickest anyways. So, see? You see that? So that one has the lines across. Some of them I've just done just plain and run across with the knife, around the edge with the knife. Instead of using that across, just decorate it like this. Makes it a little bit quicker, I suppose. It's a lot of cookies to ice, but whatever. Okay, that looks fairly smooth, and then just go along like this again. Up around, turn around your hands. There. That's that. Okay. So, and sometimes, you know, I might decorate them right now. Actually, I found some sprinkles. Some of the kids might like sprinkles on them. I could sprinkle them with some of those. Maybe. Well, I'll just grab them. Some of them might like chocolate. So why not, instead of writing on them, just put a little bit of chocolate on them. Looks cute. Easy. And maybe some chocolate on this one. Found some of these left over, some colored ones. So anyway, a few different ideas. You can do whatever you want on the top. I'll be writing with some of the icing. I've got my Wilton bags here. I'll show you how I bag up the icing. And we'll be back to do that after I ice a few more of these on the top. One thing you might want to do is when you are sprinkling these, just because if the icing isn't very soft that they're going on, you might just want to gently push them down so they don't all roll off. Just press them very lightly into the icing, and then you won't have a problem like these ones. Oh, that's kind of cute. Okay. What can I say? I thought I'd check in with you people. I'm just sitting here peacefully decorating these cookies, watching Super Bowl 55 on the TV out there. So, and apparently Tom Brady's team is winning, so everybody's happy. Okay, we'll continue decorating cookies and watching the game. Oh, you don't have to mute it, honey. It's all right.
I mean it.
I'm just letting people know that we're watching Super Bowl. We've never watched a game. Have we ever watched a game in our lives? Well, that's what COVID does. You don't have anything else to do but watch a Super Bowl game. Okay, I don't even know what the names of the team are. But anyway, somebody Buccaneers. And I don't know. Anyway, okay. Continue decorating cookies. Okay, we're just a little bit confused. Kansas City and Tampa Bay, I think. Is that what it is? Kansas City and Tampa Bay are playing. And somebody's the Buccaneers. Kansas City Buccaneers or Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think that's who Tom Brady plays for. One of them. So I think I'm going to have to phone one of the grandkids. As we don't have a clue. Maybe we could punch it up on the internet.
I'm just doing it right now.
Oh, you are? Okay. We'll figure it out in just a minute. Grandpa's checking it out on his phone. So we're a little bit more in the know about this football thing. Okay. I'll continue decorating. I've only got 4 more to go. And then I'm all done. Over 6 dozen, so that's good. Okay, we have it figured out. Kansas City Chiefs, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We're rooting for them. The Florida guys.
Yeah.
Good. We got it figured out now. Is it halftime or something?
Yep.
So they're just chatting away with people? And everybody's sitting down drinking water. Okay. So I'm just about finished cookies. Only 3 more to go. And then I can actually decorate some more of the tops. All right. Well, I have some of this icing mixed up in the colors. I have a bit of the pink still left. And I mixed up some blue to make some blue flowers for some of those boys. And you know what I thought would be kind of fun is a little bit of purple. Just wanted to show you this just on the end of the toothpick here. Stir it around in the icing and get it on there and off the toothpick. And then just mix it in. I don't remember when the last time I used this purple was. But it might be kind of nice to make a bunch of little flowers that are pink and blue and purple. Haven't decided really what I'm decorating these cookies with yet. And I don't think the kids even care what they look as long as they can eat them and they taste good. So, how's that purple look? Maybe I'll make it a little bit darker. Maybe. Get another toothpick. Dip it into here. And I want to make too much on. There we go. We're getting chunks of the color off. Yes, that's coming a little bit darker purple. That's good. I mean, Valentine's Day doesn't have to be all about the pink and the reds, you know. It could be about a multitude of colors, especially pastel-y colors, I guess. Okay. That's probably more purple. Okay, I'm going to get some of those colors out, cookies out. And start seeing about putting some flower designs on them. That would be good. One of the things that I was going to show you was how I actually fill these bags to keep them cleaner. And the icing in its own little package. Wax paper, fold it in half. Make it into a crease in the middle. And go like this. Make it into a hoop, you see? And like this. And then just make that funnel. And then just plop some of this icing. Left it kind of stiffer. I could have made it runnier, or a little softer to come through, but I think we'll just leave it at this consistency. I don't really need it softer. That's probably enough for right now. Now, you know, one of the tricks for people who are inexperienced doing cake decorating is that you end up having this icing all coming out the end. I mean, normally you can just fold that into there like that, take the sides in, roll it down, and you have a tight tube, but then you just need to cut off a bit at the end here and plop it into this. Now, if you weren't experienced, you could always staple it closed, I suppose. And after it's all emptied, you can pull it out and squeeze whatever might be left back into the bowl. But for now, we'll just go like this. We'll plunk it into here and put one of these tips. This one's some kind of flower. I'm not sure what number. It's a 136. So we could put that on there like this and go like this. Hold it tight. This was a brand new bag that I had just found, and you have to be very careful cutting them. Put in this part here, this big chunk of plastic, stick it through, and you have to cut them. So be very careful you don't cut too far and the tube goes right through. So that's one. Very tight, don't I? So that's that 136. And I think we will also then, and so it doesn't squeeze out, then twist it tightly like that and hold your hand up there when you're and squeeze with your fingers here. And I think we will do one more in the blue and see what the pinks and the blues look like together. Another blue. That. And like this. And like this. Twist under like a cone, really gently, and again, could have had it softer, but you know. Get a little carried away here. Too full. Okay. Shake it down. And then again, fold it down, push it down, and turn it, and roll it, and squeeze it down to the end. And again, clip off some of the end, just a quarter, half an inch. So it comes through this tube, another bag. And we'll just go into here like this. And, such a decision. Maybe this tip. What number is that one? 21. I don't know where we went from hundreds to 21s. It was probably an old tip, the 21, when they only had in the 2-digit numbers at Wilton. There. Okay. I'm going to get out those cookies and we'll start seeing how they're going to look. Okay, we're going to just try putting a few of these around. With the pinks. Whatever. Just do some of these. The stars are kind of cutesy, can you see? I hope. You know, try the purple. Let's see what the purple looks like. That pink, I don't know. Okay. Bit different of a. Oh, that doesn't want to let go on that tip. It's not a very good tip. Switch it to blue. Think the boys will notice. Do some more purple. Okay. Let's try that again. Why is that not working? That's the one that's got the circle in the middle, supposed to leave a hole. Okay, I'll do some over here. I see. It's all in the wrist action on that one. Probably get squished in the transportation anyways, right? Okay. How about one there, one there, one there. It's kind of cutesy. And up here in this one. Try not to grimace too much as I'm squeezing these out. Anyway, so you get the idea that you know, I'm not real crazy about that tip. It just doesn't want to let go very well. Let's try just a different one here. This one will do. Number 32. Did I ever say I had a 32 somewhere else? I don't know. What was this one? 21. Okay, let's try this. Probably kind of gaudy looking, but you know what? The kids don't really care, the grandchildren. Okay. Oops. What was I going to do with that? No, it's okay. Okay. All right. I could be writing more, but I've got a lot more cookies like to do writing with, and some of them are the pink, so I'll write on them in white, I guess. Squeezing and twisting that bag down. Okay, that's good for now. Getting a little bit low on the icing, getting harder to squeeze, and so I will grab some more trays and fill up some more bags and keep on icing, and we'll see what they end up looking like at the end. Okay. Just want to show you that I'm actually thinning down this pink so it'll smooth, come out easier when I'm trying to write on some of these. I had a little bit too stiff, and it's okay with the flowers, but when you're writing and the letters. But not too much milk, very carefully, like quarter teaspoon, 1/8 of a teaspoon, just a smidge, just to get it to a better flowing consistency, okay? And I think that about does it. And now I'm just going to put it into another one of these bags, and I have a tip on here that's getting out of bags. I need new bags. Number 4. 5. No, it's a 5. Anyways, I'll do that, and we'll be back to write on some of these. One thing about these Wilton bags that I have here being clear, I hope they stand up as well as the heavier, not cloth, it's some kind of heavy material. But I hope at least you can see the color better. And I'll start writing, but I just wanted to mention that you should make sure that after you've used some of this in here that you cover it up tight again with saran so that it doesn't dry out while you're working with the cookies. Okay, that is coming out at a much smoother consistency than it was when I was writing yesterday with this. Yes, nice, very nice. Okay, what other things would children like on here? X's and O's, love, more X's and O's on that one, fill it up a bit. Might seem like a lot of the same ones in a row, but you know what, they're going to, the littlest one can't, 12 anyways, different children, so they're not likely to see two that are repeating themselves. Put another, whatever, little X's and O's. hopefully the parents won't be too choked that I'm giving them bags full of chocolate and cookies, and they won't be too hyper. But at least they won't be at my house with the COVID thing. So the parents will have to deal with it. So I'm going to keep decorating, and I'll show you when they're all done. Okay, the icing is all done. And I'm not even going to count. I will just go through and have all their bags out later on. Not today, in a couple of days after the icing on these gets a bit more crisp and set up so they don't crush. And then I will put them on the top of the bags I'm making up. The bags I'm actually making up, I will have them in a brown bag like that, decorate it with some Valentine's stickers. In that bag, I'm going to use these kind of bags, these plastic bags, and I will put ginger snaps on the bottom because they're good and flat and won't crush down. And then, you know, Superstore had a heck of a good deal on these. I bought about 4 boxes of the red Lindor chocolates. So they'll have lots of Lindor chocolates and some turtles. And, you know, Costco had the party size of the M&Ms on. So they're getting M&Ms and turtles and Lindor chocolates and ginger snaps and all these on top so they don't crush so badly. And we'll see if they can get 4 or 5 cookies each. Maybe it'll stretch to 6, who knows. Anyways, those are all those cookies decorated, and labor of love, that's for sure. So you guys have a good Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's, and stay safe, okay? Bye-bye.